You talk about how important it is to be physically fit, okay, mentally fit, spiritually fit, financially fit, okay? So why is the physical fit side of you so important to you? And are you ticking people off by talking about that?
Well, maybe, because I generally am pretty blunt.
Yeah.
But here's the reality. If you're obese, you're on your deathbed, or you're sick, you don't care if you have $10 million in the bank account. All you want to do is feel good again.
Mm-hmm.
There's a saying that a healthy person can have 10,000 wishes. A sick person only has one wish to be healthy again. So before you can think about anything else, you do need to care about your physical health, and that is important, and that is its own part of life.
Yeah.
Sometimes we assume that if I have $1 million, my physical problems will be solved. Well, maybe you can get yourself a better gym and better food, but the reality is when you have more money, you also have access to a whole bunch of food.
Yes.
And you have to have the discipline to know what to eat.
Yeah. And I think that because you're a good-hearted person, you have a really good spirit about you, I think it's challenging people to realize the importance of being physically fit, but also letting them know that today's decisions are tomorrow's realities. And if they start working on their fitness now, even if it takes a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, it's worth it to get there. So let's go through these quickly. Physically fit, mentally fit.
Mentally fit, because if you are unhappy, you're surrounded by toxic people, more money is not going to solve the problem. You have to take care of the mental health side of yourself as well. Spiritually fit is your purpose.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, if your purpose is to make a lot of money, it's very shallow.
Yeah.
And what happens now, let's say you do achieve that. You have $10 million in the bank. What's the reason for getting up now tomorrow? What's your excitement? What's going to drive you? And when you look at some of the most successful people in the world, take a look at Warren Buffett.
Yes.
Why was he in his 90s going to work every single day? He doesn't need more money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could spend $1 million a day for the rest of his life and never have to stress about money. It's because he liked it. That's the purpose. And so if your purpose is just money, it's a very shallow way of living.
Yes.
And thinking about what your purpose is to help drive you to do something that is purposeful for your community.
Help me give hope to a 62-year-old that he does not have to retire at 65, and that he could still, or she could still, find a way to get physically fit, even though they're sitting in a setback.
Well, there's a saying, those who retire early die early. Not that you shouldn't work a job. The idea being, if you just sit still,
Okay.
not only is your body sitting still, your brain is sitting still, your organs are sitting still. So whether you're working a job or not working a job, if you're in your 60s, move.
Yeah.
And it can happen at any age. I mean, there's countless stories of people that are in their 60s that start working out for the first time.
Yes.
And you see them go through this transformation of picking up 5-pound weights and just getting started, just like anything else.
Yes.
Just get started. But the one piece of advice that I give, not just to somebody in their 60s, but of any age, is there's this confusion that can hit in of, where do I start? Do I do cardio? Do I do weights? Do I change my diet? Do I go into vegan, or do I go into carnivore? Do I do this and that? And it's very overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like to say is the same thing with finance. The simplest thing that you can do is just start.
Yes.
Get on a treadmill and put down the donuts and ho-hos. A lot of times what happens is when we make a high income, we assume now that because I make a high income, my wealth is secured. I actually had a conversation with Fat Man Scoop before he passed away.
Yes.
About this exact same topic, because he changed his life. And so he was like, Jaspreet, I need to come to your office. I have to talk to you and thank you, because of how it transformed the way I'm building my finances. Unfortunately, he passed away not too long after. The idea is, if you want to be able to, screw the word retire, you want freedom, that I don't have to go into work, I don't have to worry about money. You need a way for your money to make you money.
Yes.
And the only way, there's only one way that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
You have to own the right assets.
Yes.
And assets are things that put money in your pocket. Now you're going to say, well, Jaspreet, what are these right assets?
Okay.
And this is where now personal finance is personal. What's going to be right for you is going to be different than me. But the idea is it could be stocks, it could be real estate,
Yeah.
it could be business.
Yes.
These are the three assets that have built more wealth than anything else over the last century.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the next question you're going to ask is, well, okay, what do I actually do? And so now we're going to have to go down a few questions. Question one is, what's more important to you? Do you want cash flow, meaning income, or do you want to see growth for your investment? Those are two different ways that you're going to invest your money. And that means you're going to invest your money in different types of assets, because when you get cash flow, you get income, you have money coming in your pocket every single month, which is great.
Yes.
But you have to think about taxes.
Mm-hmm.
When you have growth, now your money can grow tax-free, hopefully more, but it's more risk, because if markets go down, you lose that growth or some of that growth that you might have seen.
Okay.
So which one is more important to you? Then the question is, how much wealth do you need to be able to retire? Because if you don't know how much money you need every single year, it is going to be impossible to retire.